So, we're gonna have an astrophysicist in the family.
Actually, I have to write this paper. Will you help me?
Let's take a closer look. What part of the solar system are we talking about?
Saturn.
If you were taking astrophysics, you could study in the metaverse.
Did you know the rings are made up of billions of icy particles?
Really?
Look at this.
You ready to do that paper now, right?
Yeah.
In the metaverse, you'll be able to teleport not just to any place, but any time as well. Ancient Rome. Imagine standing on the streets, hearing the sounds, visiting the markets, to get a sense of the rhythm of life over 2,000 years ago. Imagine learning how the Forum was built by actually seeing the Forum get built right in front of you.
Hi, Daniel. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. Now we have Daniel with us. Daniel is the founding member of World Metaverse Council, and he'll be presenting us Metaverse and artificial intelligence. What are the possibilities? So, stage is yours, Daniel.
Great. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here. This is one of those events that, as a person who's been in this space, really likes to see a younger audience get involved and interested, because, to be frank, we're trying to build a world for the next generation, not for the generation right now, but for your generation that's watching this and the generation to follow. So we'll go through what my colleagues, myself, the people in the industry are thinking about in the next 5 years. What will happen and what are the opportunities for everybody? Next slide. So with the metaverse, there's more than one. I know Meta comes out and you think metaverse and Meta, but the reality is there's more than one. There will be many different types of metaverses. And think of them like websites, but just in 3D and more interactive and gamified format. Eventually, there will be 8 to 10 major metaverses, and everything from fashion to gaming. There's going to be sports and education, but the reality is, just like today, there's a few dominant websites that everyone goes to. That's what's going to happen with the metaverse. You're going to have people create their own, but the dominant players, the ones that create an ecosystem, will be the one that everyone goes to. Next slide. So the metaverse is next generation internet. And what I mean by that is, right now, we're at the current state of 2D. So you have a monitor, you're looking at the screen right now, it's 2D. It's point and click driven. So you have a mouse, or you're using your fingers to go up and down, swiping up and down your phone. It's primarily a solo experience. Typically you're going by yourself, whether you're shopping online or you're going to your social media platform, you're by yourself. You might be engaging in a text conversation, but the experience is solo, and it's pushed by social media more than anything else. So you get a notification, you visit a Twitter feed, or you look at a Meta, and you're visiting different sites based on social pushes. With the metaverse, you're looking at a 3D holographic type experience, more keyboard, WASD movement, and hand waving if you have the Oculus or any type of virtual device. That's how you're getting around. it's going to be a more socialized and exploratory type of experience, and it's definitely going to be gamified. You look at Sandbox, Decentraland, even Roblox, right, or Minecraft. Everything is about gaming, exploring, and building. That's where the metaverse is heading to. So I like to think of it like the phone. And if you take a look at the phone, last century, way back in the last century, we had landlines, and we were all connected with wires and cords. And then the first mobile phone came out, and it took about 10 hours to charge and lasted only 30 minutes, and it was about $4,000. It was huge. Pagers were around for a while, since I believe the 1960s, but they really became popular in the 80s and 90s. And that's when we all felt we were connected. You had a pager, and at least your mom could get in touch with you, or your friends could say, "Hey, call me." You go to a landline or a pay booth, that those things that Superman used to get changed in. That's how we were all connected in the late 80s, early 90s. BlackBerry came out, Nokia came out, but the phones were primarily for business productivity. And then Apple came out with, "Hey, you know what? People want to do more with the phones." And now we can't imagine life without our smartphones. We watch movies, we play games, we video chat. And if you compare the two, it's still a phone. You're looking at one smartphone with all this tech and all this advancement. And you look at the landlines, they still do, at the end of the day, allow you to connect. So that's where we are with the metaverse as the next generation of the internet. We're looking at a new way of interacting and engaging, and it allows us to see what's ahead. So next slide. And just click again. Oh, sorry, let's stay right there. So the real power of the metaverse is to gamify commerce and marketing. Right now, companies rely on social media, influencers, celebrity endorsement, or high rating reviews to get people to buy stuff or attend events. In the metaverse, I believe that strategic game partnerships with game developers and content providers will be the way that people will promote their products. You will see product placements in games, reward points that can be used for real world discounts on products. So let's just say you create a popular game, you would be able to make residual income because store vendors or people who want to sell an event or notify people of what's going on will partner up with you because people are playing your games. And whether it is a portal to access your game or it's an in-game type of presentation, all that is part of the metaverse appeal. Next slide. So what you see here is just a simple example of gamification model where you have an avatar walking around and they say game cubes. You play, you find game cubes, and you get points. As you accumulate points, and you can go to any different metaverse that's connected by the same sort of ecosystem, your points add up. Now, businesses, if they're smart, will agree to give you discounts or free stuff because you have enough points, and you're going to walk into their storefront inside the metaverse and use those points for discounts. And that could be something as simple as a coffee, pair of shoes, a shirt, or a ticket to a virtual event or a real event. We have to do it in a way that is different than what's going on in the web and our mobile app. If you don't drive incentive into the metaverse, people won't go into it because it's more difficult. It's a lot different than AI. AI is very simple to understand. You ask a question, you ask it to generate something, it gets created. With the metaverse, 99% of the population don't understand it, and we need to give them a reason to come in and explore. So by giving them reward points, people will jump into the metaverse because there's a benefit behind it. So you look at something like Reddit, for example, and karma points. Why do people post? Why do people engage? Well, there's an attraction to getting points. That's why you play games and you get points, you get high levels, and you move up. There's a sense of accomplishment. Well, with the metaverse, as we move forward, that sense of accomplishment will be increased because you can actually get rewarded for your time spent online. Next slide. The metaverse should and will be a hybrid of real world cities and user generated content. And that's where a lot of the AI generation will come into play. I believe user stories and imaginations will come to life with AI and 3D modeling. You're going to find that Hollywood and streaming providers will have a lot of competition. Now, anyone with an imagination or a story to tell can go into an AI generated platform, type it up, generate the story, and create videos, create content. Within the metaverse, you're going to have space to actually put that in. So, in addition to YouTube and Vimeo, StreamYard, all these streaming services, you'll be able to have your own land that your friends, family, and visitors can come visit. So instead of having one main channel like Netflix or Hulu, you're going to have millions of people with their own spaces, but not just being able to view it in a 2D model, but actually being able to engage with that as an avatar, get points, play with other people. So it'll be kind of like a choose your own adventure almost type of environment where you can create and choose different paths for the stories. You'll see that being developed, and that's going to attract a lot of interest, not just from people watching, but people who want to advertise and promote. Again, it comes down to what can generate revenue for the platform to succeed, because without revenue coming in, then you can't sustain it. And so there needs to be a model where everyone wins. Next screen. So with streaming services, we already see it right now with YouTube and Vimeo content creators. You'll find independent filmmakers, content producers being able to create TV movie-like content or even full movie productions. You look at some of the game videos, trailers, they're phenomenal. And people will watch these game productions just for the storyline. Now, imagine 2-3 years from now when AI tech is advanced to the point where I just need to recite my story and it'll generate a whole video output. And then as long as I can get the followers, as long as I can have the fan base, as long as I can promote with different companies who want to tail into your audience, then you'll be able to actually generate revenue from that. And it's going to be huge. You incorporate blockchain and crypto wallets for authentications and direct payment, both crypto and fiat currency. It opens up the world to a whole new set of opportunities for everybody. Next screen. So social interaction on a gaming level, your avatars are going to represent you. You'll be able to video chat, and you can see that right now on Spatial and other platforms. But your avatar is going to start to represent you. It's going to start to be who you are. You're going to have different types of avatars. You're going to be having avatars that are your business profile. You're going to have your avatars that your friends see, your family see. And depending on what avatar you're using at that moment in time, will have different types of features and functions. Maybe they can run faster. Maybe they have a car. Maybe they have business tools applied to it. Maybe they have authentication factors that allow them to access certain information within the company they work at. All this is part of the whole environment that's being created right now. Next slide. Your metaverse avatars will have their own social identity, and what they do, what games they play, what they've explored will all be part of the next generation of social media experience. So it's the 3D version of what we currently do right now in 2D. And that's really important. Your whole persona will be represented by your avatars moving forward. One of the things that I want to emphasize is this is not next year. This is not the following year. This is a drip effect. It's no different like how I explained with the phones. We start off with landlines, pagers, mobile phones, business apps. So it's a process, but this is where we would head to. Obviously, the different devices that we have phones, but you're going to look at a period in time where you're going to be using everything on glasses. So VR glasses, not the goggles, big ones, but just regular glasses. So that's going to be part of the equipment phase of what to expect in the future. Next slide. Augmented reality and mobile apps. So AR will be a big part of Metaverse, and it's going to bridge real world businesses like the brick and mortar stores with Metaverse digital experiences. So in the screenshot you're seeing right here, I have two side-by-side versions of a business. One, the pizza shop inside the metaverse, and you see the avatar walking in. There's pizza slices floating around. That avatar captures a pizza slice, and it records it into their profile that they've captured pizza slices. Now they can order online a full pizza if that's what the prize value is, or it stores on their crypto wallet, and the next time they walk into that local store, because it's a local pizza shop in the city that they're visiting, and they walk in, they get a fresh pizza slice. Or you're walking in in real life, and you have your mobile app on your phone, and just like Pokemon Go back in 2017, you can capture Pokemons. Well, now you'll be able to capture products, the ones you want, and when you capture the product, it'll have, for example, a time-sensitive type of redemption. So you walk into the store, I just captured this pizza slice. Can I get the pizza slice and a drink or a coffee? Or walk into a storefront and say, I just captured this clothing item. It gives me 25% off if I buy something right now in the next hour. That's going to be the emphasis of combining metaverse with AR and real world. Mobile app integration with augmented reality for market promotions, and AI-centric and allowing for a variety of different marketing strategies based on what you like that your AI knows. So, and we're going to talk about that in a few more slides coming up. Next slide. Yeah. So entertainers will control their brand. So if you're a musician, a celebrity, a sports athlete, you will have the ability to be in more control of your property. Musicians, influencers, celebrities will have the ability to engage directly with their fans and followers by creating what I call artist studios. So being able to promote and sell directly to their audiences will give them a bigger revenue share of sales. You're going to see musicians creating game content to go along with their songs. The more you play, the more you can earn points to go towards discounts, maybe go to a concert or a live event. And the more you play, the more you're hearing their songs. So everything wraps around connectivity of each other. It all plays together. So you're going to see celebrities working with game developers. You're going to see athletes working with the ability to promote themselves inside sports game and be able to command more revenue for themselves because they become more of the product and more control because they're the ones being able to create the followers within the metaverse and be able to promote themselves more. Next slide. So we all know education on Zoom was terrible. We all went through that, but it's going to take on a whole new dynamic moving forward. So right now we're on StreamYard, where it's a 2D type interaction. You can do something in the chat room, but the metaverse will allow you to do the exact same thing and more. You'll allow you to have your avatar attend classes, automatically record, and then if your AI is connected to your avatar, which we'll talk about shortly, it'll be able to filter out the notes and tell you what you need to know because it already knows what you already have fine-tuned it with. You'll be able to leave the classroom with a study buddy, go up to teachers, have conversations, and talk with others, and then go back to that classroom, walking back and forth. You'll be able to capture informations and study notes that other students or professors or tutors create as part of the gamification component. And that can be done because they want to sell their tutoring service. They may want to sell a book or an education service or a webinar. All this will be possible. Next slide. So now we're coming into city tourism and the power of exploration with friends. Metaverse will offer cities a new way to promote tourism. We're all familiar with Google Maps and Google Earth, but when was the last time you went on Google Maps with a friend and explored? No one really does that. In the metaverse, you'll be able to do that. You don't explore on Google Maps or Google Earth, but you will within the metaverse. And if it's done correctly, cities will gamify the experience. So what I mean by that, they'll offer incentives to visit and explore. Done properly, they will coordinate with hotels, tourist attractions, and local event planners to offer rewards for visiting their cities. Whether it be, hey, spend a free night at this bed and breakfast, or here's a free ticket to a concert that's going on. All that will be part of the marketing strategy within the metaverse. Next slide. Next, you're going to come to metaverse jobs. So obviously, as the metaverse expands more users, there will be jobs in the metaverse. You will see companies looking for people who inhabit, have followers, no different than what you see right now in social influencers online. But at this point, now you can have people creating content, creating information, and being able to create more of a engaging type factor of selling products. You will start to see an increased value of AR related marketing, similar to Pokemon Go, as we discussed in an earlier slide. Job positions will be centric around people who understand the environment and can promote, who can talk, who can upsell. Next slide. So AI is here and it will make our lives better. I can't tell you how many times over the years, and I've been doing this for over 25 years in the tech field. And before that, you know, I was a child of the 80s, and we went through, you know, playing video games and hearing how it's going to wreck our minds, and too much TV is bad for you. And then calculators were supposed to be bad for us because we wouldn't be able to know our multiplication tables. Every time a new tech comes out, it was always the end of the world. I remember reading one story about when the pencil came out. It was seen as something terrible because now students wouldn't have to memorize everything because they can write things down. So there's always somebody out there who's a doomsayer who says things are going to be terrible and it's the end of the world. It's not the case. AI will help the majority of people improve their lives. Can you imagine your life right now without your phone? And people will talk about how people will spend too much time on the phone, and they do. Obviously, there's good and bad, but for the majority, you know, technology tends to enhance lives. So for the purpose of this presentation, we're going to talk specifically about AI within the metaverse. Obviously, there's a lot of different applications out there, but we're going to talk strictly about AI within the metaverse. Next slide. So AI avatars will be the big thing. You're going to see people fine-tuning their models and creating AI apps with APIs that you can connect to an avatar. So that avatar is now connected to a fine-tuned model, whether you're using Llama or Falcon or ChatGPT, OpenAI, doesn't matter what it is, but your AI is fine-tuned outside and learns to talk and learns to engage with your customers, learns to engage with your audience. And it'll allow a company to do marketing, to do support, to run their businesses in the metaverse 24 hours a day. So imagine walking into a metaverse storefront, you have an avatar like you see there, and you're asking what are their sales for this week, and it will know. It's a little bit more complex than what you see right now with chatbots on websites, because chatbots have a strict sort of regiment and understanding. AI will adapt, will learn, and can get fine-tuned and understand the audience. And that's going to be really important with avatars inside the metaverse. They will learn. Next slide. For me, I think this is the biggest advancement. We're going to have personal AI assistants. You'll see introduction of these personal AI apps. In fact, I'm working on one right now. You know, before everyone had cameras on their phones, in the last century, back in the 1900s, we had to actually take pictures with a camera and print them up. We had to go out there and be very careful what pictures we're taking because we had a limited amount of shots. Now, everyone has a camera on their phone. Everyone has a video on their phone. We can't think now of not being able to capture a moment with pictures or videos. AI will change how we remember and retrieve information, take notes, and retrieve memories. We'll be able to have a personal AI assistant that follows us throughout our life, learning what we wanted to learn and knowing us better than we do. it will be like our phone numbers. Once we get a phone number, we start to use and give it out to people. We're not going to want to get rid of it. So our personal AI, once we start to fine tune and train it to what we know on our phone app, we're not going to want to get rid of it because you're going to be spending literally years working with this. So you think of Siri, you think of Google Talk, and it starts to learn. Well, imagine you having your personalized AI assistant that you take with you when you go into your classrooms, and you tell it to remember certain information that will be on a test, on a webinar. You can take it to remember your favorite recipe, or what happened on a date. And then a year later or 2 years later, you can go back and ask, what was that thing I talked about when I was at that conference in October of 2023? And I'll tell you, oh, you were here in October 23. This is what you wrote down in your notes. Now take that personal AI, and you're going to have everything being able to access via a token type environment, or APIs connected directly to what you have. Security and data privacy will be key paramount for this, because that's dangerous information. But that is going to allow you to do so much more moving forward. Next slide. So tapping into that same concept of AI and content generation and being able to personalize, you're going to have AI generated spaces. AI will be able to be used to assist content creators, landowners. So Sandbox, Decentraland, Somni Space, you can buy land there, but how do you decorate it? Well, that's where AI comes in. You're going to tell it, I want to have a structure that fits into my parcel of land. I want it to be 3 stories high. I wanted to have 4 rooms. I want it to look like a 19th century type of English building, and I'll create it, and then you can tailor it to what you want. You're going to find artists who create original content having valuable type of property, because everyone else will be doing AI generated. You're going to see the value in human generated content that's original, and it'll be certified, generated by a human. So you're going to have a differentiation between AI content and human generated content, and the value of human generated content will be so much more, which will give artists the ability to really promote. I also believe that artists and content creators will create original content that will be used by AI as a library that they'll sell to be able to generate an income. Next slide, please. So what you see here is kind of a model with for metaverse entrepreneurs. Metaverses will have spaces that you can buy. So that's the grid you see on your left-hand side. People will find spots. This is no different than getting a domain name or a YouTube channel. You'll just get it and you have a spot. What you do with it is going to be up to you. The entrepreneurs of the metaverse world will create, similar to the YouTube channels. You get fans, you get followers, or Patreon. You get people who are paying you because they like your content. That's going to be the big thing. You're going to be creating 3D virtual space. You're going to be creating AI. You're going to be creating AR type of products that people will engage with and go, wow, this is really cool. And can I have this in my own space? They'll be able to rent out their tech to other people. No different than how people watch content and then talk about it. They'll watch people play games and record it and then comment to it, or they'll watch a UFC fight and then they'll break down the fight techniques. So you'll see a lot of that in the metaverse, but more in a 3D AR and AI concept. There's going to be an AI and an easy sign-up process for young entrepreneurs to tap into, say, Stripe, PayPal, whether it be a MetaMask wallet, but everything that you see inside the internet will be transitioned over into the metaverse, because that's where the next generation of users will be. If you look at Meta, formerly Facebook, it was used by a lot of people, and then the parents got on board, and then all the younger generation said, you know what, I don't want to be in the same platform with my mom and dad. I'm moving off, and they went off to another platform. And that's what you can see with the metaverse. The metaverse will create a new type of environment for the next generation to create their own commerce, where people will be continuing to be on Amazon, on Shopify, using WordPress site. that will be for the current generation and the next and the generation right below it. But the generation that's right now on Roblox, on Minecraft, Fortnite, they're going to embrace being able to be in a world where they can generate revenue, real money, and be able to create content and not have to be beholden to a corporation that can shut you down because you have a competing product. With blockchain decentralization, you have ownership, and that's the value and the power of the metaverse. Next one. We talked about personal AI. So imagine an AI tutor that has been infused with information that you're looking for, and now you can go in, talk to that AI tutor, and get information or instructions on a subject. What I see in the future is, imagine a parent having the ability to give a child a tutor of around the same age that's qualified, that will help that child understand concept and topics, because it knows how that child learns, whether it be through gaming, visual, even tactile, because with haptic devices, gloves and vests, you can do a lot of things. So a parent can give a child at 5 years old a tutor that grows up. So you'll have a 5-year-old avatar tutor talking to a 5-year-old little Johnny or little Sally. And as that child grows up and learns more, that tutor will adapt to what it needs to teach. You'll find a child going from elementary school, high school, university with a tutor that knows and learns and understands them and be with them for the rest of their life, because it's part of the AI fine-tuning model for that specific person. Again, it goes back to AI being part of your everyday life to be able to make it easier. Next slide, please. Tourism avatars. So cities will embed avatars with tourism information, government information inside the metaverse. Things like announcements will be made within the city districts, from elections to public service announcement. Avatars will be able to show you those Easter eggs inside cities, stuff that most tourists don't know. But if you go in the metaverse, you might be able to engage in a game and unlock, secret areas of that city that only those who know will be able to show you where it is. And that's going to be a key part of the tourism, where, if you go to a city in Europe and you discover a bar that's been around for 300 years, but it's not on any local map, because only local people or people who are in that sort of niche would know about it. So that's really cool, on how, avatars and AIs can really incentivize people to explore areas outside of the normal tourist district. Next slide. I believe that, I keep coming back to the AI, the personal AI, but I believe that AIs will be infused into your own avatar, and you'll be able to send your avatar to attend meetings. So this presentation right now, you could have your avatar watch it pre-recorded, but instead of you having to watch it, it just summarizes what you already know and what you don't know, because that avatar has been fine-tuned to your knowledge base. So it would come up to you and say, hey, Tim, a really good seminar, but I didn't know this about tourism avatars and where it's headed. This is something that you might take note of. Or you'll be able to collaborate. So companies will be able to have their own corporate avatars attend meetings all over and summarize the meeting notes of the employees. I'm not talking about personal meeting notes, talking about generic company notes. And through that, they will be able to understand what is beneficial, what is any hurdles or obstacles, and be able to summarize next steps based on company notes created by actual employees, management, and even customers. Next slide, please. So this is an interesting thing that I think will be the next evolution of marketing. I don't think people or companies will advertise directly to you as an end user. I think bots will just start to chat to each other directly, because with ad blockers, with people just clicking off or avoiding ads or not even paying attention to them, it's a lost revenue for companies. I believe that chatbots or advertising bots will just talk to your AI avatar, and your AI avatar will either know what you want to hear about, or know at that moment in time, maybe you're looking for a new pair of shoes. So it knows that. But how many times have you gone and looked at a product, and then all of a sudden your feed is filled up with that same product, even though you bought it, you don't need it anymore, or you only needed one thing, whether it be a tool set from a Home Depot store, or a phone. You just bought the phone, you don't need another phone, and you start to get all these promotions for another phone. It's irrelevant to you now. You've got what you need. So I believe that chatbots, AI bots will start to talk to each other, and then what will happen is companies won't pay the likes of Google or Meta for advertising. They'll pay you directly through discounts. So they'll request to talk to your avatar. They'll request information about you, and if you say yes to it, they'll say thank you by offering you a discount on the product you're looking at, or maybe game points, or maybe a ticket to a metaverse event. So marketing budgets won't go to big corporations, but will take the form of offering discounts or reward points for your data directly to you. And this can all be tracked as progression in the blockchain, smart contracts, and crypto continues. The future will enable ownership of your data, and companies will have to offer you incentives to directly advertise to you. Next slide. So this is a big part of what we're doing with the World Metaverse Council and the vision behind creating a global metaverse community. As I said before, in the very beginning, there's going to be many metaverses, but if we do this correctly, do this right, we can actually create an ecosystem that generates revenue to fund climate projects. So imagine when the internet was being organized way back in the 90s, and all the protocols were being created and put together. We had the foresight to put a global transaction fee on anything that was purchased online. Don't think of it as a tax, think of it as a fee that went into a bucket, and that money collected would be dispersed to projects that would be incentivized for green initiatives and help clean up pollution, raise people out of poverty, offer education, because we've generated hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars over the last 40 years of commerce online. So with Metaverse being brand new, and we have the ability to create the format for how it would be developed, Metaverse and AI can work together to create a sustainable revenue mechanism that funds projects around the world. And my proposition is that we add a 1.5% transaction fee to every purchase that goes into, like I said before, a global bucket. So every time you buy a digital clothing for your avatar, or buy a pair of sunglasses, or attend a metaverse event, or anything, whatever it is, a little piece of that goes into this bucket that's audited, that's organized. And then as a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization around the world, if you bought something, you can vote on what projects we want to fund. Maybe we want to clean up the oceans. Maybe we want to invest in a company that's doing green tech and it needs to be funded. Maybe we want to challenge corporations to clean up their act, and we have billions of dollars to counteract any negative media. So that's really a big component of why the members of the World Metaverse Council, myself, my team, are actively trying to get together the world as a community to create an environment and a platform that talks and funds the world just by doing what we normally do, and that is engage, buy, and have fun. Next slide, please. So with AI, there's so many different apps out there, and every week, if not every other day, something new is coming out. So futuretools.io is a really good website for everyone to just keep track or to discover new AI apps. Love it, use it a lot. I've discovered a lot of different initiatives out there. So if you're interested inside anything with AI, go bookmark futuretools.io and use it to discover what you are looking for in the AI space. Next screen. So AI and metaverse will go hand in hand. It will revolutionize the way we do business, socialize, learn, and interact with each other. It's not something to be feared, but rather embraced and carefully used for the benefit of all. And the metaverse is going to be for a young generation. It is not meant for a generation that's grown up on Amazon and Shopify and Facebook or Meta. It is meant for the generation that is growing up, like I mentioned before, on Roblox, on Fortnite, and plays games. You are already inside that world. And that's really important. So I'm just going to leave you with a quick video presentation of some of the work we've been working on, but to give you an idea how it goes, it's on Vimeo. So if you just click on the next slide link, you'll open up a Vimeo browser and you can just play that if you can, please.
I think as you're using a different platform, I cannot play the video, but
no problem.
I think a few seconds.
Yeah, you can actually put that in Discord if anyone wants to watch it.
Okay.
That's fine. It's just a 90-second video. Just gives a summary of what we're doing and how it's evolving. It's all great to see pictures on a slideshow, but to see it in action and see people, companies actually building and where it's heading, that's where, really creates an impact. So for everyone that's participating in this campus and in this program, first of all, well done. I mean, congratulations to everything you're doing. It's really inspiring to see so many participate, and the world really is yours. And technology and the ability to work, collaborate around the world with others, and be able to easily access resources and knowledge is huge. And it's something that you should be very proud of yourselves for participating in this. And if you have any questions and or you'd like to find out a little more or just pick my brain or any of my team brain, please let me know. Happy to answer questions. Thank you.
We have a question.
Yeah. Is it possible to play games by creating metaverse within the metaverse, even if one real computer steals the internet? Just says, yeah, no. So not right now. They are working on technology to optimize a lot. It's just very, very expensive to stream in those technology. And I'm playing around with it right now, but right now, no. But it will come down and it'll be very much accessible to all. We are working on trying to make everything compatible on mobile smartphones, because you literally have billions of devices around the world versus people not having a gaming laptop. So, but it will. Yeah, good question. Right now, so I have two kids, a 16-year-old and 18-year-old, and the best thing you guys can do right now is to learn as much as possible, because I guarantee you the people that are running businesses right now don't know what they're doing, and they don't understand AI, and they don't know what they can do with it. So if you come about and start to learn, whether you're going on Midjourney or you're going on ChatGPT, you're understanding how to use these tools, and then create almost a consulting type level of services and businesses, you will be able to offer that to businesses who will pay you directly for your time. If you're an artist and you just design art, you can create a library of digital assets that can be used with something like Midjourney. So upload this image, it's genuine art, and transform it to something else, because now you're going to have something a little bit different. That's where right now the opportunities are. No one has a lead in this space. So if you put yourself out there to learn everything and become an expert in it, people will come to it. You'll develop a name for yourself. You'll be able to charge for consulting services, and you'll be able to create products. And that's what I did. So 25 years I spent building web platforms, website builders and e-commerce. But the last 4 years, I saw the trend with blockchain, Bitcoin, crypto, AI. So I made the move over. And now I can consult just because I know more than the people that are now getting the space. So do that. Just learn as much as you can and become an expert in one field and go out there and promote that. More talented. So I wouldn't say more talented than us. I think it can enhance our talent. So kind of like, if you are a good singer, but you record your voice and you use an equalizer to make your sound a little better, it's still you, it's still your talent. If you create a story, an AI can take that story and generate a video for it, but offer you suggestions on, hey, if you change the plot a little bit, this will make it more applicable to this genre or more interesting to your audience here. So to make it go faster, we need fine tuning. So the more you take an AI app and start to fine tune it, and fine tuning means you ask a question or you create something, and if there's something wrong with it, you correct it. I always like to, and just a side note, whenever you're dealing with any of the AI engagement or tools, talk to it like you're talking to another person. Don't be rude, don't be crude, because you're training it and you're trying to train it so that it could be, and especially for this group, responsive to an audience that will want to engage with it more. It's all fun and games to be, rude and tell it stuff, but at the end of the day, do you want to be a 25-year-old business person engaging with an app that's not taking you seriously? So from our perspective, we want to train with proper etiquette, and we want to fine tune with the right intentions, because there's so many bad actors out there. We need good actors on the side to make things better. Next question.
Okay, we don't have any more questions.
Okay,
and thank
great.
you for great presentation.
Thank you.
And we took your time. It was really beneficial for us to listen to you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay. Okay. Then goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
See you guys.